Hello and greetings from the snowy climes of Montreal, Quebec. It's been a long time since I've done a video for this channel. I believe the last time I did a video for this channel where I actually said anything was back in the days of the Battle of Berkeley when I was still living in California. And I wanted to tonight, because it's New Year's Eve, just do a quick little, I guess you could say, rant about some issues that I've been thinking about and that are related to the things that I was talking about back in the summer of 2016. It's funny, we're approaching the countdown here for the last few hours of this decade. So tomorrow when we wake up, I guess it'll be 2020. And I guess that's the future. When we were young, we always thought 2020 would be the future. We thought there would be day trips to the moon or something like that. Instead, we got Twitter. So take that for what it is. I would say that you've got about a year or two to really do something at the level of politics, of mass movements, if you want to stop what seems to be going on here. The censorship, the thought control, and just the general level of this SJW nonsense is sort of going off the charts, I guess you could say, as we head into an election year in the United States. I mean, in the last few days, I've eaten 2 bans on Facebook. One was a 1-day ban, I think, and then the other was 3 days. I'm still on that. And this was fast. For the first one, it was a gag. It was a comment, even. And I think I had said that Americans are stupid, less school is probably not helpful. And then the second one was just a post about some strikes or something going on in France, and I had said stupid French people. Those were pretty mild, and I was caught pretty quickly on both of those. Almost as if there's no human factor at all left in them. It's pure automation. Nobody's even reporting this. I mean, it wasn't even like I said an offensive term. I mean, I referred to 2 groups of people, Americans and French people, as stupid, and I ate a ban each time for that. It wasn't like I said retard or faggot or nigger or something like that. So, don't really know what more to say about this, but like I was saying earlier, you've got maybe a year or two before the hammer really comes down on all social media, I think, across the board. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all of them are just going to be pure sanitized. Unless you find some way to either get laws passed about this, enshrining the First Amendment on all tech platforms, or you find a way to make alternative tech a real thing, I think it's going to be over. I think that the average person is just going to accept this. They're just going to accept the thought control. They're just going to accept the censorship. And that's going to be it. I would not be surprised if something like Facebook, in a lot of the European countries, for example, probably England as well, sets something up with these European countries, and I wouldn't be surprised if Canada and Australia are far behind, wherein if you make hate speech or something and it violates the laws of your country, that they'll report you to the authorities. I don't know how something like that's going to work in the States. I mean, there's obviously still some barriers to that because of the First Amendment. I mean, it's still, I don't think it's a crime to say something racist in the United States on the internet, whereas in parts of Europe, probably in Canada and Australia very soon, if not already, you can go to jail for that kind of thing. You can be fined for that kind of thing. So yeah, I don't think you have much time left on this, guys. I don't think that there's a whole lot left on the clock to really do anything here. This is the future you sort of asked for in some ways. You didn't fight them. You have to remember that. You didn't fight them when maybe you could have. You didn't fight them when they invaded your privacy. When Snowden revealed what he revealed in 2013, did you really make much of a fuss? No, I mean, there hasn't really been much of an attempt to sort of wrestle back for example, the privacy that was lost in the wake of the Patriot Act. Nobody's calling for an end to the surveillance thing, for example. So I think that the powers that be have seen that the average person, the people, they just won't fight for that kind of thing. They won't fight for privacy, and I think that their summation, their conclusion is that you won't fight for free speech either. And so I would say online, even probably in America, you've got maybe a year or two left. If you don't do something now, if you don't do something politically, if you don't find a way to get some kind of a law passed about free speech in digital space, you're going to lose it. And once it's gone for good. And I think once the free speech has really been curtailed, then that's when the propaganda is really going to crank up. I mean, for now, there's still some alternative voices out there to sort of push back against the propaganda that seems to be leaking out, pushing out at all times, on all platforms. But once it's gone, once real free speech is gone across all of these digital platforms, then yeah, then it's going to be hard for the propaganda not to be cranked up a notch. And I don't know what's going to happen then. I mean, are we just going to be told who to vote for? Are we just going to march in lockstep to whatever the elites tell us, whatever they broadcast across these platforms? I don't know. I don't really know. It's a strange time to be alive. These 20-teens turning into the 2020s. I have to say that when we were young, all the way up to September 11th, we believed that the future would be better than the past. We believed that we would live better than our parents. We believed that we would be freer. I have to be honest about all of this, guys. I'm not sure about any of this anymore. And I'm going to repeat myself. I think if something doesn't happen very, very, very soon, to try to defend free speech, I guess, to try to defend free speech in the few places that it still exists. I mean, it doesn't really exist in that many places. Do you think that there's free speech in the People's Republic of China? There isn't. The Hong Kong protests once again show this. They want to extinguish the flame of free speech in Hong Kong. Most of the world doesn't have free speech. I would say most of the world that used to kind of have it, like Europe, Canada, and Australia, they're losing it progressively day by day. I mean, if those people don't stand up, and if the people in the United States especially don't stand up, I think it's going to be over, guys. And our children, the people that come after us, these Gen Z people and beyond, they're not going to know what real free speech is. They're going to live in a highly controlled environment. Sorry to be a downer on this, it should be at least a joyous occasion. It is New Year's after all. But this is just the way that the world is. I don't really know what more to say about this. I guess all I can say is that I hope that something happens. I hope that the people that see and understand that free speech is under attack rally this year or next year, because I don't think that you're going to have much more time than that. Anyway, this is getting a little bit long now, and I'm going to go join up with my friends and get a little bit of my drink on, a little bit to drink, and celebrate the end of this decade and the beginning of the next one. Bastini.